Hi, Prosperity Team. It's Dr. Money. I'm coming to you from the prosperity corner of the universe where silliness is sacred and no one is perfect. We're precious, but we're not perfect. Perfect is a heavy burden to carry. I want to talk to you about your day. What kind of day do you expect to have every day? What kind of day do you want to have? And do you decide when you get up about your day? Because really, it's a decision. Even if we don't think it, we're making some kind of decision. It may be the decision to emulate the emotional reality that we had the day before, the one that we carry around week after week after week. And I'm going to suggest that for the new year, let's think about a new way to enter our day, and let's make it a decision for abundance. We get up in the morning and say, today I'm going to have an abundant day. Now, a lot of us make a declaration like that, but we go into the day and something knocks us off kilter and we say, oh no, so-and-so did such and such to me and now I can't really be happy because of them. I can't, if it was just me, I would be happy, but all these things knock me off kilter. Well, the problem with making that kind of statement is that we're always going to have something knocking us off kilter. So even though we make the decision in the beginning of the day to have an abundant day, then when we get knocked off kilter, we have to make a new decision. That is, another decision, and that is, I'm going to live this abundance whether or not the external world is pinging on my prosperity or not. They're pinging on my outlook. So I would say, what does an abundant day feel like? An abundant day to me feels like I have enough. Abundant day feels like the future is going to be safe, so I'm not constantly trying to worry about or go out into the future and figure things out. An abundant day feels like I have support from friends and family, and that feeling is like I'm okay. That feeling is like I am precious. That is the feeling of abundance. Sometimes I've noticed that when someone gives a financial prediction that's very dire, that my abundance ability just goes out the window. It happened last night. A person started talking about how we're going to have another recession, a crash in the economy. Of course, we've had many. We've had the 2008. We've had all just many of those things. But what happened with me is that I had a trigger. My lack trigger was triggered. And I began to feel that pit in my soul. Now, my head, I'd go yuck, and I try to get everything out, but in my body, I could feel it. And so as I got up this morning, what I did, it was still there. And I got up and I just began to notice how I felt and felt that. And then I just began to make a list of all the things that I was afraid of when I was feeling that feeling. Oh, I'm afraid that this will happen or that would happen. But just kind of got it out. And then I started experiencing, well, what does it feel like in my gut? Does it feel like fear? Does it feel like sadness? What does it feel like? And just kind of felt it like that. And I said, every time today that this emotional intensity comes up, I'm going to just be with it. I'm not going to try to push it down. I'm just going to be with it. And I did that. And then the other thing that is really cool is I thought, well, what is the opposite of lack? And that is, of course, it's abundance. So what about if I begin, now that I've kind of got the emotional thing, let me move my attention away from that, which is not what I really want, and let me move my attention down the continuum, the same energy, a continuum of the material world and our emotional reality, the goodness that we can have. Let me move my attention down to this feeling of abundance. So I began to move my attention into this feeling of abundance, which, as I mentioned, is the feeling like I've got support, that the future is not bleak. And I began to slide my attention down this line of manifestation. And it helped bring me out of that fear that I had of the future. And so when we have something come up, we don't want to say, oh, I'm not going to think I'm going to think positive. I'm not going to think negative. Often we can't just switch like that. We have to move from this one vibration over to a higher vibration, and we want to move along the same lines. For example, if the thought is lack, then we want to move toward abundance. I mean, if you're thinking lack, you don't really maybe want to think about planting daisies. You want to think about the feeling of what it's like to be abundant. Or if you're having, if we were having a feeling that we're not wanted, then we want to move to what it feels like to be connected and supported. So we want to go It's not actually the opposite. It's just that there's the lack of this feeling of safety and enoughness, and then there, which we're actually on this end, the lack of feeling of safety and enoughness, and then there's a feeling of safety and enoughness. So we can move ourselves up the vibrational scale to where we need to go, and that will help us. But if we're not conscious, if we're not aware, and if we don't make a decision to be different, do different, feel different than we've always done, then of course we'll be in the same spot. Let's take a moment to join into the prosperity circle of well-being. And we do that through taking a deep breath in. Oh, yummy, I'm just breathing in prosperity. And exhale, I'm breathing out that prosperity. And as I breathe in my good. And as I exhale, my intention is that all beings live the good life, that all beings have enough, that all beings are fed and have plenty of water and space and comfort. And it is so. And there's one more thing that I would like for you to remember, and that is that I love you. Happy New Year.